Hey, if you're a freelance writer, you can't just sit by the phone waiting for potential clients to call you up, all right? You gotta get out there and hustle. So in this video, let's talk about how you can use LinkedIn to connect with potential clients for free. And make sure you stay until the very end because I'm going to wrap up with a few more general tips and tricks that are still going to be really important if you want all of this to work. Okay, let's start with your own profile because you're going to want to represent yourself in a very specific way. When you reach out to leads, which we're going to get to in a minute, you want to be positioning yourself as an expert in your field. If you haven't yet, I strongly encourage you to pick a niche. If you need help with that, you can go watch this video and I will drop that link in the description below. You're going to need to do this in order to follow the rest of the steps in this video. Okay, so let's pretend that you've already picked a niche. What you're going to do next is optimize your LinkedIn profile around that niche, and you're going to get very specific with the exact type of services that you're going to offer. This is information that you can put in your headline and your summary, which is like the About Me section of your LinkedIn profile. Let's say as an example that you are a tech writer. Tech is your niche. You're gonna wanna put those exact words, tech writer, in your profile. You also wanna specify what types of services that you're offering. Do you want to blog for people? Are you also going to offer landing pages, website content, SEO? Whatever services you plan on offering, list them on your page. Third, you want to describe exactly who you're offering these services to. For example, SaaS companies, B2B, B2C. You can also call out specific types of brands within your niche. Using tech as an example niche, when I say types of brands within tech, I mean cryptocurrency or online authentication. Those are just two examples. Optimizing your profile is the first step to using LinkedIn to land freelance writing clients, and I can guide you through this entire thing one step at a time. I've already laid all of this out for you in this free guide. It's free. I'm putting that link below, so go grab that download and you'll see this whole process in action with examples and screenshots, and then you can just follow along with it and apply it to your own page. Once you've done this, you can move on to the next step. The next step is when you get to reach out to potential leads. I want you to repeat after me. Not everybody is my ideal client. Let that become one of your new mantras, because everybody and anybody is not a potential client. The last thing you want to do is reach out to everyone and their brother. Instead, you're going to reach out to people in your niche. Here's how you do that. First, you're going to search your niche in LinkedIn. Remember that LinkedIn is a search engine, not unlike Google. When you hit enter, LinkedIn is going to return a whole mess of results. We want to narrow these down. So what you're going to do is filter those results by companies. LinkedIn will show you, shockingly, companies that fall within that niche, whatever niche you had searched. Your next client is somewhere on that page. Go through each company one at a time, and what you're going to do is check out their list of employees, and then you're going to reach out to someone in your department. As a freelance writer, this means that you want to look for someone that has a title like blog editor or director of content or content manager. Look at their titles and you have to ask yourself, does this person likely work with the blog in some capacity? That's your guy or girl. If you want to see me demonstrate this whole process, I've recorded a super short video. It's 55 seconds and you can follow along with it step by step. I'll put that link in the description below. Pick a niche, search it on LinkedIn, filter by companies, and look through the list of employees for someone in your department. 4 steps. It's very simple but very powerful because it's going to help you get laser focused and help you find the exact person you need to connect with. Okay, so I told you I wanted to kind of swing back around and wrap this up with a few really important tips. Keep watching because if you get these wrong, it's not gonna work. LinkedIn is an amazing tool for landing freelance writing clients. I use this tool on the daily. It's great if you do it the right way. First thing you should know, if you spam people, LinkedIn is going to suspend your account. There are limits to how many searches you can conduct and how many people you can send invites to. Remember, we're talking about using LinkedIn for free, so they put limits on these things. We don't know what these limits are exactly. LinkedIn has never confirmed the specific number. So we're going to stop you way before that ever has a chance of even happening. Now, you might not be spamming. If you hear children screaming, they're playing outside. You might not be intentionally spamming people. I hope those aren't your intentions, but regardless, If you're being a little too eager and LinkedIn sees you going ham, it's going to temporarily block you and tell you to slow down. This is one of the reasons we work within a niche. LinkedIn knows who you're connecting with. It knows, what type of people you're reaching out to. And if it sees you reaching out to people in a certain industry or in a segment of a certain industry, it's going to know that you're using the platform in a very intentional way. And this is not a sign of spamming. That will work in your favor. Beyond that, you still just want to be very intentional in general with how many searches you're conducting, what you're searching, and how many invites you're sending out. Quality matters. In fact, I would argue that it matters as much as quantity. You don't need to send 300 invites a day. It's not necessary. If you're contacting the right people, you can get away with far fewer. And besides, you now know that sending an absurd number of invites is a really good way to get your account locked. Remember, LinkedIn bots are a real thing. And from what I can tell in my own experience and from people I've spoken with, it's getting worse. And these people, or these bots rather, they're good. They look like real people on LinkedIn, but they're not. So you don't even want to risk coming across like that to LinkedIn. All right, so how far can you push this without landing in LinkedIn jail? To start, my recommendation is to limit your searches to 5 a day. This should be really easy because you're only going to be searching within your niche. I know 5 doesn't sound like a lot, but this is still going to give you hundreds of companies to look into. That's more than enough. As for invites, I would start with sending 10 to 15 a day. Full disclosure, these should be way under LinkedIn's limits. You shouldn't be coming anywhere near them if you stick with these numbers. But we're starting very conservatively on purpose, and you can gradually increase it, keep testing the waters, and see what you're able to get away with. This is especially important if in the past you weren't all that active on LinkedIn. You don't want to go from 0 to 100 in one fell swoop. You want to work your way up. And on a kind of related note, it's the same thing with sending emails. If you are getting into cold emailing or emailing in general, one thing that can contribute to your emails landing in spam is taking a brand new account or an email account that was otherwise inactive and right off the bat starting to send hundreds of emails a day. You have to warm up the account. I would recommend the same thing with LinkedIn, just to play it safe. By the way, if you want to learn more about how to avoid landing in spam, go watch this video, the link is below. I will almost always tell you to err on the side of caution. That's just how I do it, and it hasn't failed me yet. The second tip I've got for you, for the love of God, strike up genuine conversations with people. You might be rolling your eyes right now like, yeah, no kidding, but too many people don't take this seriously. In Revenue Spark, my students do use templates when they are sending a message to a lead on LinkedIn. But, 2 buts. First, I tell them to always personalize it. And second, very often, they take these templates as sort of a framework, make them their own, and run with it. So it's coming from them in their voice. This is because copying and pasting the same template, the same message to your leads, your connections over and over again is disingenuous and it's ineffective. People know when they're getting a canned response. They know when they're getting something that you just copy pasted. It's very obvious. So I'm gonna give you some advice that was passed along to me in my early 20s. Don't fake it. It's not nice. That advice was given to me in a slightly different context, but you get the idea. Don't fake relationships. Don't fake conversations. Be real, be human. You're one human being, they're another. Have a real conversation. This is, without a doubt, one of the biggest reasons why my students and why I find so much success with this method. Our motivation is genuine and authentic. We're reaching out to people and we're saying, hey, I think I have a way to make your brand shine even more. You want to talk? People respond very positively to that. What they don't want to hear is, this is what I do, this is what my rates are, hire me. It's not gonna work. Tip number 3 is keep your profile active in general. LinkedIn is going to reward people who spend a lot of time on the platform. So that means that you don't want to use it only for connecting with leads. Create posts, comment on other people's posts, engage, network. It's fun. You don't have to spend a ton of time on this. If you're already feeling stressed out, it's okay. Maybe, post 2 or 3 times a week, comment on other people's content 2 or 3 times a week. and make them genuine comments, all right? I just told you not to fake it, so don't comment on someone's post with nice post. Ugh. I have a couple of videos that can help you with this. This one is on LinkedIn engagement hacks, and this one is on how to use hashtags on LinkedIn to improve your engagement and visibility. Poor LinkedIn, it looks so dull, but it continues to be my go-to for landing clients. It's what I teach my students, and they're always thrilled with the results. I've got one student who recently replaced her previous full-time income within a couple of months of having finished the course, and now she is officially a full-time professional writer. Yay. If you want to book a call with me to discuss enrolling in Revenue Spark, I am putting that link below. If you want to start smaller and just get your feet wet, I do have a mini course on client acquisition called the 7-Day Secret, and I'm also putting that link below. And don't forget that I have a course specifically made for writers that will teach you how to create content that ranks higher in Google, which you are going to need to know how to do if you want to get paid to write. That link is not below. Just kidding, it is. Woo. This was a longer video. Thanks for hanging out, sticking around. I always appreciate it. Please give this video a thumbs up before you go. That is a simple way to support this channel. And if you haven't already, click subscribe and the notification bell so you are always alerted when I upload new content, and I'll see you next time, all right?